since we're on that theme, I grew up in a very, very Jewish neighborhood, as I was saying before. My friend and neighbor, Greenberg, he was so Jewish. His grandmother taught him to hold his nose whenever he passed a crucifix. Poor Greenberg, everywhere he went there were churches. Everywhere he went he had to hold his nose, afraid of Jesus and the crucifix. In addition, his grandmother, who was from the old country, she was from the old country. She lived so far deep in Ukraine, if you went out her back door, you'd come out in Lithuania. Greenberg was fed a steady diet of cucumbers. His mother thought that he should always have cucumbers in his daily diet. There were always cucumbers in his salads. In addition, he loved fluffernutters. He loved the fluff and the peanut butter. Between the cucumbers and the peanut butter and the marshmallow, he was in a constant state of digestive stress. Greenberg. To live with such fear of Gentiles, constantly clutching his stomach in an indigestive state. His parents wanted him to have a career, wanted some career stability. They sent him to a food technology school. Greenberg learned about dough. His specialty was dough. Frozen dough, semi-frozen dough, thawed dough, in all shapes, tortellinis, manicottis, bucatinis, lasagnas. Dough was his world. And he got a job at Buitoni selling dough. Greenberg is the subject of my new biography. I'm trying to sell it in Hollywood. I'm trying to pitch this story because I feel like Greenberg is a man living in faith. He's extraordinary because he is not. He was ordinary. He was so ordinary. He was such an average note. He was nothing. He was barely there. He was invisible, and he sold dough. And yet I feel he should be the subject. He should be the subject of an American biography. I tried to sell these guys the story about Greenberg. What do these guys know? These Hollywood guys in their suits. These are people who've never worked in their lives. These are men who've never tried to sell frozen manicotti in the suburbs of New York, never had to clutch their stomachs, passing churches, crucifixes everywhere. Superior men, superior men. No, I tell you, Greenberg is a man for our time. He was in a constant state of stress, digestive stress. He was still eating the fluffernutter sandwiches every day. And Buitoni made him test the dough. So every day he had to eat frozen manicotti, frozen tortellini, frozen ravioli, frozen linguine, frozen spaghetti of pasta of every shape and size, frozen, combined with the fluffernutters. Greenberg was clutching his stomach all the time, and at the same time having to hold his nose as he drove past churches. will tell me your interest in the subject is probably because you had some kind of a inappropriate sexual relationship with the subject when you were a teenager. I think that's irrelevant. Greenberg is a man for our time, a man we should celebrate for his extraordinariness, no, for his averageness, for his everydayness, for his mediocrity. Mediocrity ran through his family like grizzle through cheap corned beef. Can you blame him? Loaded, afraid of Jesus. Am I talking about America or Greenberg?